our latest rankings, risers and fallers. Reminder that you can always find our updated positional rankings on the website, cbssports.com/fantasy/baseball/rankings. And you can also find them on the CBS Fantasy app. As usual, we'll focus on 3 players each who either moved up or down this week. And we will start with Scott. You are up.
I am up. Okay, Paul Skeens. Let's talk about him. I was pretty aggressive ranking him as soon as we learned he was coming up to the majors. But I think it's time to take it to another level. I think it's time to rank Paul Skeens like a true ace. And so that's what I've done. I've moved him up to 15.
Why do you hate Paul Skeens?
Do you have him higher than that?
SP7, baby.
Wow. Wow.
Last time we talked about him.
Way to entirely steal my thunder there with that take.
So the last time we talked about him, I think I had moved him up to 15 already. Mm-hmm. And I said it would take very little to move into the top 10 based on how bunched up everyone is. And just screw it. He's got a 30% K minus.
Well, that's what ratio. I thought I was saying. I thought I was the one saying screw it. I got him ahead of Max Fried. No, I don't actually. I'm behind Max Fried. You have him ahead of Max Fried.
Yes.
I think the overall point is that we all have Skeens top 16 at starting pitcher. So we're pretty much all in.
And right behind him
that's a very, very interesting way of eliding the fact that apparently Frank hates Paul Skeens the most. Has an SP16.
You weren't supposed to say anything.
I just want to say, like, wherever the exact number is, the reason I'm ranking him as an ace is because, like, obviously he looks amazing. His best pitch is one that wasn't even really touted in the minors.
He didn't throw it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he started throwing it this year.
Yeah. And the Pirates have already done such a good job managing his innings by basically having April serve as his spring training that I think he's going to be fine in terms of workload. I do actually have Garrett Crochet now right behind him at 16, a guy we worry a little more about the workload. But, and, Pablo Lopez has dropped behind them both at 17. Yep. So look at that. I'm covering 3 moves in one here. Okay, the next player I'm going to talk about is Jarren Duran, who coming into today was the 4th best. The 4th best outfielder. No, I'm sorry. I said it wrong. Jarren Duran coming into today was the 5th best outfielder in points leagues, behind only the obvious top 4 of Aaron Judge, Juan Soto, Mookie Betts, and Kyle Tucker. Betts is obviously going to drop out of that top 4 now that he's on the IL. But Jarren Duran was the top outfielder behind them. And I imagine he's still there after the performance he had here on Wednesday. I don't rank him that high because we're ranking him at his hottest right now. He's, batting well over 300 in June. It's still a profile that doesn't generate a lot of power. So it's highly batting average dependent, at least in 5x5 leagues. I think the reason he's so high in points leagues, especially, is doubles and triples pace is huge for Jarren Duran. And obviously those count for something in points leagues in a way they don't in Roto. But it's a batting average dependent profile. A lot of speed there too, but not much home run power. And so I did move him into my top 20, but I kept him behind Stephen Kwan, who is also a batting average dependent player who I think is going to hit for a lot more batting average. He's up to 397 after today. Yeah. Not that that's going to stay that high, but I think he's going to hit for a higher batting average than Jarren Duran moving forward. But top 20 now for Duran. And finally, Ryan Jeffers, a faller here. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but the last couple weeks, he's only played like every other day. And Christian Vasquez doesn't deserve to play that much, but you know what? Ryan Jeffers hasn't been hitting well enough to force his way into the lineup more either. So major playing time concerns there. The production has dropped off. I moved him from 5 to 10 in my catcher rankings, and I wonder if that's too high. I had a whole little reshuffling here. I moved Logan O'Hoppe up to 5th. So they kind of swap places in my catcher rankings. Wilson Contreras, I moved him back into the top 10 since he's going to be back from the IL soon, ahead of Ryan Jeffers. But yeah, Jeffers was the big faller there, and in shallower one catcher leagues, I don't think he's beyond dropping if you want to pick up a hotter hand.
Yeah, I mean, the main appeal, he had been really good for most of the last year, dating back to last season, but the main appeal was how much he was playing early on. So I don't know if he's wearing down. We saw something similar from Sean Murphy last year. Those Minneapolis Springs, boy, they'll get you. I do want to add on Jarren Duran. Have you guys looked at his spray chart?
No.
It's a weird profile for a left-handed hitter. It is just the left field fence at Fenway. He's just putting dents in that thing. He's got 17 doubles at home.
Wow.
And I think all but one double this season, all but two doubles this season have been the opposite way. He's got 17 doubles at home, 4 on the road. His batting average is 47 points lower at home or on the road than at home, mostly because of all those doubles. He's not running on the road, mostly because of all those doubles, I would imagine.
He's not running at home because of the doubles.
Yeah, he's not running at home. It's a really interesting profile, but on the whole, I mean, you're looking at pretty dead average plate discipline in both strikeout and walk rate this season, and better than average expected quality of contact numbers. So I think, yeah, Jarren Duran, I mean, I liked him a lot. I was drafting him everywhere. Where'd you move him in outfield?
Top 20.
Okay, yeah, I have him 17 in Roto. Probably need to move him up in points. I'm not sure exactly how high I moved him there. But yeah, lot to like about Jarren Duran right now. He's top 20 in points as well.
So do you have him ahead of or behind Riley Green?
I believe I have him behind Riley. Just ahead of Riley Green and Roto.
I have him ahead of Riley Green in both formats.
Okay. I have him behind Green, and I already said I have him behind Kwan too.
Yeah, Kwan we'll just transition there. He's one of my biggest risers. I moved him to my number 12 outfielder in Roto.
Oh, wow.
Presumably pretty similar in points. And part of it's just, 12 in points as well. And part of it's just there aren't any good outfielders. There's like 8 good outfielders right now, and 2 of them are on the IL, I believe. Mookie Betts, we've moved well below there, but Kyle Tucker may never return from this shin injury. I don't know what's going on there. He's going to return. He was supposed to, yeah, no, I'm joking. He was supposed to miss like 2 days, and it's been like 2 weeks and counting. But yeah, like Steven Kwan, he continues to hit really well. I saw can you believe it's June 20th and Steven Kwan is hitting 397? It's like, well, he missed a month. So, that's part of it, but he's been fantastic is the point.
His expected batting average is like mid 330s. Yeah,
339 right now. Expected slugging percentage is actually expected ISO over 100 for the first time in Steven Kwan's career.
He has 5 home runs in 45 games. He hit 5 home runs in 158 games last year.
Yeah, what's funny about that is we saw stories this spring about how the Guardians wanted him to embrace striking out more for the sake of doing more damage. And you could say, oh, look, it's happening. He's doing more damage. It's not really reflected in the exit velocities. So I'm not sure if those power gains are going to sustain, but bottom line is he's like Luis Arraez level contact hitter and deserves to be treated like that. He actually, how many steals does he have? Oh, fewer steals than I thought. I was going to say he actually steals bases unlike Arraez.
He's hitting for all these home runs. No, he look, he's not going to have 1,000 OPS. I don't there's probably going to be 200 points of OPS regression for Steven Kwan the rest of the way. But an 800 OPS bat in this climate is still a very, very good one, especially when it's, at the top of what has been a fantastic lineup, at least a fantastic top half of the lineup. I don't know if you guys have seen Jose Ramirez is on pace for 150 RBI. And Josh Naylor might be on a similar pace after homering twice today. So, yeah, I think there's a lot to like about Steven Kwan. right now. And
I
then
will say his barrel rate has
doubled
from his career rate. Yeah, it's up to
2%.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is still one of the worst marks in baseball. Fourth percentile, first percentile hard hit rate, 7th percentile average exit velocity. Stephen Kwan is not a power hitter, but a version of Stephen Kwan who could hit 12 home runs is, given how strong the batting average is going to be, that's a super valuable player. So I think there's a lot to like there. Everyone else I'm talking about here is a rankings faller. Jared Jones, I don't know if we got too over our skis, if he's just running into some trouble and needs to work on some things, but I've got him down to SP29. There's a lot of fungibility between, honestly, like 20 and 30. So it wouldn't take much to move him up, but we're seeing the control regress. That was the issue for him in the minors. Hasn't been getting the same whiffs. Lefties are crushing him right now. So a lot has gone wrong for Jared Jones. I still like the upside, so I don't want to bury him, but had to move him down. And then everyone's going to yell at me and whatever. It's fine. Anthony Volpe has not been very good since like the third week of the season. And the timing is very interesting because he went 3 for 4 with a walk today. Since April 16th, he is hitting 248 with a 295 on base percentage, a 378 slugging percentage. And Anthony Volpe's expected WOBA is actually worse than it was last season. Now, because of the changes he's made to his swing profile, becoming more of a line drive and all fields hitter, I think it's reasonable to suggest that he could outperform his expected WOBA after underperforming last season. But I do think we have to have a discussion about Anthony Volpe, who right now just kind of looks like a runs specialist. And that's valuable. But I'm not sure this is like a difference-making fantasy player. I'm not sure there's that much separation between Anthony Volpe and someone like Andres Gimenez if he's going to be a 250-ish hitter like he has been for most of the season. Now everybody yell at me.
Does anybody regard him as much less than Andres Gimenez? Because I mean, they're both like top 15 shortstops in my mind, borderline top 12.
Yeah. I thought everybody was more treating him like a top 10, top 12 type, and I think Gimenez is more top 15-ish, but maybe I'm wrong.
I will say it's surprising his numbers, just from as somebody who has him in a points league and knows how consistent his points production is week after week. I've got the week by week breakdown pulled up now. He's like between 15 and 25 every week. That's great. So I don't know how he's producing so many fantasy points.
Yeah.
He's on pace for almost 500 this year.
Yeah. In Roto leagues since April 16th, and that's a super arbitrary time span where it was basically he had a really good game on April 15th and then went hitless on April 16th. So I'll admit I'm doing an arbitrary timetable here. He's at the number 20 shortstop in Roto in that time. Maybe it's probably higher in points. The runs are certainly helping, but
yeah,
the pace since then, 248 average, 103 runs. That's awesome. 11 homers, 53 RBI, 25 stolen bases. I just think he's probably more of a middle infielder than a starting shortstop for fantasy, I guess.